You are now in tune with
Mamba Radio.
Alright, what up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Brown Mamba Radio. For those there who don't know, my name is Jackson, and happy Aloha Friday to all you guys out there, and girls. Hopefully you guys enjoyed your week this week, and the weekend's finally here. Happy Rusev Day to everybody out there, and today is a very different episode, just in the fact of how I'm recording it. So, so I'm recording this episode in my car. I've got a, pretty busy day today. Woke up a little late. Got to run a few errands. So I am recording this episode while I'm driving today. So I apologize in advance if you hear any clicking. If it's a little jumpy on some of the edits, because I'm editing out maybe some noise in the background or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like I said, just giving you guys heads up on that for now. Like right now, I'm about to turn left. So if you hear the clicking, that's my turn signal. And I do not recommend anybody to do this, but like I said, I got a busy day today, and it's like I said, and just enough happened this week where one, I didn't do anything on Monday, and two, like I said, enough happened where I gotta get an episode out this week for what happened this week, and because a lot, not that a lot happened, but it was more of a quality over quantity in the stuff that did happen. So let's get started with the biggest news from the week, starting with basketball from the NBA. It looks like we finally know where Kawhi Leonard is going after a long, drawn-out free agency period. Everyone was wondering, is he going to go to the Lakers? Is he going to go to the Clippers? Is he going to stay in San Antonio? Is he going to go to the Sixers? Where is he going to go? Kawhi Leonard has officially been traded to Toronto, essentially for DeMar DeRozan, in a crazy deal that I guarantee nobody saw coming. Like I said, it blew me away when I saw it, and it just took everyone by surprise. Took the NBA, NBA Twitter, took NBA world by storm. Essentially, the deal, from what I remember, and also I apologize for when I'm recording. Obviously, I am driving, so I'm trying to pay attention to the road. So all I have are my notes. I don't have a lot of details in front of me, but from what I remember, it was Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green for DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, maybe someone else, and there's a draft pick involved as well. But yeah, crazy, man, just crazy deal. Like I said, no one saw this coming. I've had a few days to or a couple of days now to think about it. As far as initially, I'm pretty sure everyone thought, like, what is Toronto doing? Like they're giving up their best player, their most loyal player, which I think is an overrated take. It's an equally overrated and underrated take as far as the loyalty aspect of sports, because this kind of stuff happens all the time, and no one's loyal. You know what I mean? Like, what I'm saying? Like, these hoes ain't loyal out here. But like I said, it always happens, and it just adds to the justification of what LeBron started with the decision in choosing his destiny, as opposed to leaving it in the hands of the owners and the general managers and the front offices and stuff like that. And the most notably with what Kevin Durant did. We saw it happen to Isaiah Thomas. He got kind of, quote unquote screwed over. But DeMar DeRozan, it's good for him. First let me go back to Toronto before I move on to San Antonio. Toronto, man, it's just like, what are they doing? First firing Dwayne Casey when it clearly wasn't his fault that LeBron was just, had their number. They fired their head coach. Nothing against the guy that they're bringing in. Nothing against him. It's just we all know how good of a coach Dwayne Casey was. They fired Dwayne Casey, trading away their best player. It's like all in the span of one offseason, and it's like, geez, dude, like, it's like, what is going on over here? And they're essentially trading their best player, and we already know that they're gonna try to essentially try to swoon Kawhi for 1 year. This is a rental. They're essentially getting him on a rental, and they're gonna try to convince him to stay. And so far, it's not working. So far, the strategy doesn't look like it's going very well, or at least it doesn't. From the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like that's in the cards for them going forward. Like I said, he never said anything about Toronto. He always wanted to go to the Lakers, or he just said LA. But predominantly, we're assuming the Lakers, could be the Clippers. But yeah, he's made it known he wants to play in LA. Never once mentioned Toronto. And it's just this whole thing, the whole Kawhi situation overall. It's so weird. In just the sense that we've never seen anything like this happen before. Most of the time when a superstar player or a superstar caliber player like Kawhi, is going through a public, not dragging yet, it's not a full-on dragging, but just a public, people are questioning every single move he makes and everything he's doing, and especially because he's coming back from an injury. Every time people come back from injury, they always do the comeback season. YouTube series and Instagram videos and all that stuff. He's been super quiet, not just from his workouts, but just from all the slander and stuff he's been taking, and all those other people are saying about him. And yeah, we all know that he's just a quiet guy in general. But it's gotten to the point where a lot of people are publicly trying to drag him, publicly trying to shame him. They're questioning his manhood. They're questioning his level of competition. They're questioning all these different things about him, and it's just crazy. Not crazy is not the right word. It's so strange. It's so odd. Like I said, just because we've never seen anything like this happen before, and it's like I say, and then a lot of the biggest question mark regarding Kawhi, to me at least, is can he still play? He's taken about a year off now. Before he left, obviously we all knew how good Kawhi was. The Shark the Puss, Defensive Player of the Year, I believe. Finals MVP. One of the top, when he was healthy and playing at the peak of his powers, easily one of the top 5 players in the entire league. And just a two-way star, all-star, all NBA player, all that stuff. And it's just an injury like this that. Regardless of how the severity of the injury, it's an injury nonetheless, and it's a leg injury. And anytime there's a leg injury with especially a basketball player, it's always something to be cautious of. And it's like can this guy come back as well as and play as at the level that he played at before? Now he's still young, he's still in his prime years, or is getting into his prime years. And it's like I said, we're just gonna have to wait. That's the biggest question mark, at least, like I said, in my opinion, is he worth all the hoopla? Just as far as this goes, because it's just like anything, as much of a diva as he's being, sports history has shown that teams will take a flyer, or they'll look past, or they'll deal with the diva if off the court, or off the field, or stuff like that, or whatever, if the production they get from the player on the court outweighs the level of headaches and stuff that they cause off the court, off the court. And it's like I said, that's what we have to wait and see. They're also, I think, the Raptors are also getting Danny Green, sure, I guess. Like I say, I don't know, man. What the Raptors are doing, like I said, we know what they're doing. They're trying to convince Kawhi to stay for 1 year, or using this one season to try and convince him to stay long term. Oh, excuse me, but I just don't see that happening. And then on the Spurs side of things, like I said, they definitely looks like they got the better end of the stick on this deal. They're getting, DeMar DeRozan, who's a great young player. We all know how well he did. He was, All NBA, I think second team All NBA last year. I know second or third team All NBA last year. Played very well. The best player on the team for the Raptors, on their number 1 seed in the East. And it's like I said, it's gonna be interesting to see what the Spurs do going forward. Like I said, adding a guy like DeMar DeRozan, he's immediately gonna replace the Kawhi Leonard spot. You know what I mean? It's gonna be interesting. I know that all the jokes about out there, the Spider-Man memes and all the Twitter jokes about, well, who's gonna take all the 17-footers now, DeMar or LaMarcus? Like, I get that, but at the same time, it's like, look, it's an effective strategy. They've got guys that can shoot the three, like Patty Mills. Well, they did have Danny Green, but not anymore. But Patty Mills can still shoot the three. I forget who else they got that can shoot threes and stuff like that on San Antonio. But it's like I said, the game plan is still there. They've got some good players going forward still. The big thing was, if Pop, wanted to go out, swinging, or did he want to just, not lay down, but just, kind of try, take what he can or whatever. And obviously, that wasn't the case. He didn't just, oh man, excuse me, I'm yawning. Obviously, he didn't want to, he wanted to go out swinging. He didn't. He clearly, the biggest question for the Spurs going forward was because Pop does have a huge. He's not the be all end all, but he does have a huge influence on the personnel decisions for the Spurs, and the big question was, does he want to trade? Like I said, everyone knew that Kawhi wanted to go to eventually wants to be on the Lakers. But it was was Pop going to do that? Was he going to trade him to arguably his biggest rival throughout most of his career? And not just his biggest rival, but just anyone in the West. Obviously, that's not what he did not want to do that. And part of it was most of it we're assuming is because he wanted to keep him out of the Western Conference and only have, not have to deal with him and maybe only see him in the finals, if anything, which probably won't happen. Just being honest and being realistic. And also, almost not like a petty move, but just kind of like, oh, you want to get traded? Fine. Hopefully like Toronto and everything they're going through right now. So like I said, it's good. It from right now. A couple of days after the actual trade itself, it seems like San Antonio got the better end of the deal on this one. Of course, hindsight's 20/20. We'll look back on this and say, wow, San Antonio is really screwed up because their spacing is horrible now because DeMar and LaMarcus are shooting from, right by the free throw line the whole time and blah 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 and all this stuff and wow, Kawhi came back better and stronger and he's leading the Raptors to another number one seed in the East, and now there's no LeBron in the East, and so he's the juggernaut in the East now and all this stuff. Blah blah blah. Who knows? But it'll have to be. It'll be wait to be seen. But it's definitely one of the most surprising trades that happened. Like I said, and the fact that it was two superstars too. Bill Simmons on his podcast on Wednesday, I believe, did a breakdown of some of the best superstar for superstar trades, and I'm jealous that I didn't come up with that. I really like that, but I might piggyback and steal it. I don't really care if I'm coming out. I might piggyback and steal it, and try to go over that with some of my friends, and take some of those deals that he had and look up some other trades like that happened, and try to do a comparison of some of it, because there's a lot of there haven't been that many superstar for superstar trades, and it'd be interesting to see if we can have like a comparison of players to more modernize that for a lot, because a lot of them happened before I was born, before I was really old enough to be able to to consciously or really like before I had the level of fanaticism that I have now for sports and be able to analyze it and break it down and stuff like that and contextualize and all that stuff. So that'll be interesting. So I might do that a little bit later. We'll see. But yeah, like I said, this trade was something else, man. It's like I said, it was definitely, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, that's it. It was crazy. But yeah, that happened. And then yesterday, Melo, man, I don't know what to say about Melo, man. For those of you who don't know, Carmelo Anthony, last week, I believe, it came out that he was going to be parting ways with the Thunder in one way or another. I believe, and then it turned out they were going to buy him out and then do whatever, and then he can go from there. So what they did yesterday was the Thunder had a trade with the Hawks, where the Hawks traded Dennis Schroeder and Mike Muscala, I believe, to OKC for Carmelo Anthony, and someone else, and I think like a draft pick or something. But like they didn't just, obviously the Hawks are getting something in return. They didn't just trade away two of their young guys for nothing. They got something in return because Melo is going to be released, and he can be he won't play for the Hawks, but he'll be released, and then he will be able to choose where he wants to go as a free agent, essentially. And Melo, man, a lot of as it's such a complex situation with Melo because he's still got some left in it. He can still play basketball. That's for damn sure. He can still play basketball. He just can't play basketball at the level that he was, when he was in the Nuggets or when he was in the early seasons with the Knicks and stuff like that. And he definitely isn't at the point of his career where he can, or where he should be like the number one option for a team. He tried to be like a number 2 option, even a number 3 option with OKC, and it didn't even really work out for them that well either. Because even though he should have been a number 2 or number 3 option, he still thought he was number 1 in his head, and it's just sad to see, man, because I love Melo's game so much. Nuggets Melo, as much as I hated watching, as much as I hated him because he was on the Nuggets and he gave the Lakers a run for their money so many times. I mean, I loved Melo's game, man. He was so good, and it's just sad to see it happen. But at the same end, you know what I mean? Like, you got to give this guy props, man. He's about to secure 2 bags at one time because got bought out by OKC for, I believe, $27 million. So he secured that bag, and he's about to secure another bag with whatever team signs him. It looks like it's going to be the Rockets. Well, it doesn't really look like it, but that's everyone's assumption for the front runner is the Rockets. I threw it out there. I think he maybe a lot of his his branding and a lot of his personal businesses and business ventures and all that stuff are in New York. I don't think he would go back to the Knicks, but there's always a chance of maybe him going to Brooklyn, playing for the Nets. Like I said, at this point, it seems like not that he doesn't care about basketball. Like I've said this before, obviously this guy cares about basketball. That's his bread and butter. But to him now, it seems like hooping is more of just the job that he has to sustain the stuff that he wants to do outside of basketball. Like I said, like all his businesses and his his Jordan brand stuff and that he's doing, and a lot of his business ventures he's on. So it's like, listen, if that's how he views basketball, then why not go to Brooklyn? If you can go wherever you want, they'll probably be stupid enough to give him another big contract and secure another bag. And like I said, he knows that if he goes back to Brooklyn, if he goes to Brooklyn, he could be the face of the franchise. He could be a number 1 option there, even though he shouldn't be, but that's what he wants. It seems like still. As like I said, there's that option. But like I said, Houston, if he wants to win a championship, I guess that looks like the best place. I thought he was maybe going to go to L.A., but today the Lakers signed Michael Beasley. I don't know what the terms are on that deal, but the Lakers have agreed to terms on a deal with Michael Beasley, which is freaking hilarious. And the Lakers really are turning into the Brown Mamba All-Stars, because they have turned into my all-time fantasy team there with all they need to if they got Boogie, and all they need to do is also re-sign Nick Young or bring Nick Young back, and I swear to God, that's the Brown Mamba All-Stars. I'm gonna have to buy every single jersey, just blow my bank on all these Laker jerseys. But Michael Beasley on the Lakers now. So I don't know if they're gonna get Melo now. He could go to the Clippers. There's that talk, but I don't know if he would want to go to the Clippers on that sinking ship. Like I said, but we'll see. We'll have to see. Like I said, I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen with Melo. I don't know what the Thunder are gonna do going forward with this. Like I said, they brought in Schroeder and Muscala. I like more for them. He's like a in the Ilyasova type. He can come off the bench. Be productive. Hopefully, hold some leads. I'm like, he's not gonna blow the not gonna score the freaking not gonna blow the doors off anybody or anything like that. But he's serviceable. Schroeder, I think that's weird. Another, it seems like they're gonna rent him too. I don't know because Schroeder wants to play. He's gonna play, but he's gonna be a backup over there for sure. And it seemed like more of a, because we all knew Atlanta just wants to get rid of him. So Atlanta got rid of him. They did what they wanted to do, and then maybe OKC deals him too. I don't know. But Schroeder is, as much as people say about Schroeder and as much of the bad rap that he's gotten over the last couple seasons, he's still a good player. I guess in the same kind of light of Reggie Jackson, where there's a lot of people don't like him personally, but he's still a good player on the court. He still has enough left in him. So I don't know what they're going to do with him going forward because, like I said, he's going to want to be a starter, and he's going to want to go somewhere. So I don't know how much is left on his contract. I know he's got a couple, I know he signed a multi-year deal with Atlanta. But I don't know what he can do. He seemed like a good fit for a team like Orlando, or maybe even I wouldn't say Sacramento because I would have said Sacramento if they didn't have De'Aaron Fox, but just a team like that, like a shitty, he could be a good stats, bad team kind of guy. And like I said, we'll see. I don't know. We'll have to see. But then just this happening just really. I don't know if Paul George knew this was gonna happen. When he signed that deal, I think I'm guessing he thought he was gonna have Melo with him there still. I really don't know, but it's just. OKC looks like they're not going anywhere anytime soon either. Excuse me again. I don't know what the heck. But it looks like OKC. Like I said, it doesn't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. I don't know what their plan is going forward. Like I said, I don't know. Paul George, man, it looks like that. It's starting to look like more and more like this might be the worst. I want to refrain from saying dumbest because I'm trying to be nice about it, but might be the dumbest free agent signing in quite some time. But like I said, we'll have to wait and see. Only time can tell. Only time can tell for the Kawhi DeMar DeRozan trade. Only time can tell for the this Melo situation. But like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. That's about it for basketball. Like I said, not really a whole lot of this happened. Oh, shout out to Josh Hart. Fuck, almost forgot that. Shout out to Josh Hart for the what's it called? Summer League MVP. Even though they lost to the Blazers. So even though they lost to the Blazers, like I said, Josh Hart played his ass off all season long. Looks like we've got ourselves a pretty good one in Josh Hart. Looks like we've got a pretty good one in Svi. Svi got game. Svi is quickly growing into, one of my favorite, probably, if you guys listened to the last episode that I did with the homies, then you know that I really, really like Svi. I think he's going to be, like I said, he won't be, I'm not saying he's going to be the next, KD or the next, best player ever, but he's definitely going to be more serviceable, and I think he can help contribute to the team more than people think. Like I said, he's shown flashes so far this year in the Summer League, and I know it's just Summer League. And a lot of, there's been a whole ton of Summer League, all-stars or whatever that didn't pan out to do anything. But, like I said, I really like Svi. Another late draft gem for the Lakers, and, for Josh Hart as well. Another late draft gem as well. So, like I said, looking good for the Lakers going so far. I'm pretty excited for them. Going forward, like I said, even though they didn't win the Summer League championship, who really freaking cares? But yeah, that's about it from basketball so far. From what I know, other than I know the 2K ratings are coming out slowly, but like I said, not all of them are out yet. I will have a nice little breakdown of those when they come out, when all of them come out completely, so we can get a look at them. the 2K ratings aren't completely out yet, so I'm gonna wait for those. The Team USA stuff is going to start pretty soon, I think. Interesting to see if Kawhi, what he does with Team USA, especially since Pop is at the helm for that too. So going to be interesting to see what happens there. But yeah, other than that, that's about it for hoops. But with baseball, yeah, just a little bit happened with baseball. In case you haven't heard, Manny Machado, formerly of the Baltimore Orioles, is now wearing Dodger blue, baby. And essentially for I'm happy because we didn't actually have to get rid of anyone, not anyone valuable. I was, the whole thing with Manny Machado, people talking about coming to LA, I was like, well, who are we going to give up? The best strength for the Dodgers on the team as it's currently constructed is their depth. And how multiple guys can play multiple positions. You know what I mean? You got Kike, who can play, anywhere on the infield. He can play in the outfield as well. You've got Chris Taylor, who's holding it down at shortstop right now as well, but can also play outfield if you need him to. Cody Bellinger can play infield, outfield. Muncy can play anywhere on the infield. Turner locking it down at third base, but his bat is what's keeping him in the lineup. That is what he's really there in the lineup for. But just the what's the right word I'm trying to think of? Not complexity, the accessibility or multitude of positions that each player can play on the Dodgers is their biggest strength. But they're also some of the best trade attributes. But it's just it's weighing out who would you want to give up, who would you want to keep, and I'm just glad they only give up prospects. I don't know much about these guys, not gonna lie. I'm not gonna front act like I know much about the farm league of the Dodgers. I know they got some guys down there. I know they got like I said, like that's what's kind of helped, that the farm league is what gave us Cody Bellinger, is what gave us Jock Peterson. It gave us a few other guys in the past, but like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I'd rather give up prospects. If that's all the Orioles are looking for, give it to them. If they don't want, they don't want to put a Kike type or a Chris Taylor type or anything like that on the table, then that's fine. If they just want prospects who's about to do the full trust the process rebuild, that's fine with me. But yeah, Manny Machado was a 5-for-1 player deal. That's got to be one of the biggest lopsided trades I can remember in a long time. And not just baseball, but in any other sport. It's gonna be interesting. And people are saying, well, where's he gonna play? Is he gonna play third? Because what about Turner? Is he gonna play short? Because what about Kike and Taylor? And what about when Seager comes back? What are you gonna do? It's like, look, this is a good problem. I said this before, and I'll say it again. This is a good problem to have. Having an abundance of talent is never a bad thing. Especially when you got a guy like Dave Roberts, who is a player's coach or player's manager through and through. He's gotten these guys, to be able to get their heads on straight, take care of business and stuff like that. And it's I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm sure they're gonna put him at short for right now. They can, like I said, it'll give more guys rest. It's just making them better. And his, as great as he is a fielder, we all know that. His bat is what's freaking hot. You know what I mean? Especially not this past season because he's been really de-gaffing it. Especially not because he doesn't want to be in Baltimore anymore. But yeah, Manny Machado, man, is officially a Dodger. It's great to hear. Like I said, if Dodger fans that don't know, because he was in the American League and playing, for the Orioles, we got ourselves a pretty damn good player, and he is worth all that stuff. He is worth all the prospects that we gave up. Especially with prospects, only time can tell. Yeah, sure, but like I said, he's damn good. He's good, and he's very, very good. He's gonna play short for us right away. I'm assuming he can fill in at third if they need him to, like A-Rod style. If they want to give Turner a night off and they want to have Kike or Taylor play shortstop, something like that. But yeah, man, it's happy times in Dodgerland right now. And like I said, the season's back again. The season started back up this weekend after the All-Star break. Dodgers are on the road. Like I said, I don't have my notes in front of me. I forget who they're playing right now. I think they might be playing the Brewers, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like I said, baseball season's starting again. All-Star game, All-Star weekend's over, or All-Star break is over. The game itself was fun. To me, it's funny. Funnily, I think kind of a metaphor for how modern baseball is right now. Not modern baseball, the new punk group, but how baseball is. It was a microcosm for what baseball is right now. It's just, if I'm not mistaken, the score it went to extra innings. It was long and pretty boring with occasional, with pretty much all home runs. It was just all home runs. Other than that, it was long, it was drawn out, it was boring for the most part. And, it's just like I said. And then the top guys came through. Judge had a huge home run early. Mike Trout had a home run. And then, that kind of stuff. And it's just, like I said, the top guys were the top guys. They did it, but for the most part, it was pretty boring. And, like I said, as much as I love baseball, I love baseball. I've been playing baseball since I was 4 years old, and it's one of my. I ride or die with baseball, but it's easy to acknowledge baseball's got a problem. The home run derby was good. If it was a pretty damn good home run derby. I love this new home run derby format. It is great. It is the saving grace for the home run derby format. And it adds drama, it adds, tension, it adds, theatrics, it adds flair, and it's good. And they get the right guys to do it, And, it was great. Bryce Harper, won in dramatic fashion at the end. But just but watching it, I can easily say I can watch the home run derby with the sound off. And as much as people liked to criticize Chris Berman for being a little extra and stuff like that, and I know he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way and stuff, but as much crap as he got for that and stuff like that, man, I miss Chris Berman. Can he just please ESPN sign him for the home run derby? Because as much as people thought he was annoying, it's kind of one of these where you don't really know what you got until it's gone. And man, oh man, nothing against the guys who called it. I think it was, a lot of guys that I like. But they just talked too much. They're like, well, his swing needs to be like this, and he usually has an exit velocity of this with a launch angle of this and blah. Shit that honestly, no one gives a fuck about. Honestly, I get, I'm all for stats and I'm all for, analytics and stuff like that for bettering the game and stuff like that. But, they're good for, when you're at practice. And it's listen, you want to get the launch angle at this so that way you can carry the ball more. And I get it. But, like I said, most people casual fans who just watch, who are tuning, who pretty much only watch baseball from, maybe the home run derby and the All-Star game, nobody gives a fuck about launch angles. Nobody gives a fuck about exit velocity. And, like I said, these guys they just talk too much, man. They just talk way too much, and it's like I said, it's nothing against them, and it was just boring, and it was just talking when they didn't need to, and then I think in the finals, Schwarber was going on his run, and he was hitting 8 in a row, and he was hitting steady runs of groups of home runs in a row, and they weren't even just they weren't even whoa, look at that one, and he was hitting some fucking bombs. He's in the fucking bombs, and they were like, oh yeah, Schwarber did this, and his numbers were like this, and he could have done it like this, and they were just talking. They weren't talking about anything going on. They weren't talking about anything going on from the home run derby. They're talking about how he played in the season, how he did this, and when he did this, and his numbers for this, and it's dude, shut the fuck up and just give me a back from Chris Berman style, and we're good. That's all we need. That's all we want from the home run derby. No, like I say, we don't care about these numbers. And oh man, I don't know if you can tell about how fired up I was about it, but even with, and then for Bryce Harper, all they were like, what's his bat flip gonna look like? No one cares about his fucking bat flip. You know what I mean? Just he said just add some theatrics to it. I never thought I would say this, but Chris Berman, we miss you. Come back, please, and save the home run derby. Because if there was any time to have Chris Berman for a home run derby, it was this one where it came down to the wire. Bryce Harper hit 8 in a row at the end in order to come back, and then hit the one in the overtime or whatever. And oh man, the home run derby pissed me off. It should have been so much better. It can be so much better, and it should be so much better. So hopefully ESPN really addresses that and fixes that problem. Because yeah, it was not good. It was bad. That was bad for ESPN. I can't front. But yeah, All-Star break's over now. We can get back to our regular scheduled program. And I know I mentioned the dog days of summer before, but boy, oh boy, are we really about to hit the dog days of summer. Second half of baseball, when it's hot out there, teams are dragging on. Guys are trying to, the teams that are mathematically out of it, usually start saying fuck it and trusting their process and trying to, keep guys healthy. They're trying to preserve their star players for the season going forward. They're going to try to, throw different lineups out there, test different things, see what's going on, see what works, what doesn't work for the future. And then for the teams who are in it, they're going to be playing well. You know what I mean? Like Dodgers got a chance. They're in first place. They're going to want to hold that lead. Other top teams, they're going to want to hold the lead. They're going to want to play well. But, as it gets more towards like August, beginning of September, that's when it's like, oh shit, this is tough. The football hadn't fully started yet. OTAs are coming up pretty soon. I know so there's that. Preseason, no one really cares about preseason. Basketball, no summer league. Summer league's over. So they're just going to be doing the practices and stuff like that for the summer. But yeah, man, we're hitting it. It's the real dog days. Like I said, luckily for me, I like baseball. So I can have no problem watching strictly just baseball for the next month and a half, 2 months. But I know a lot of people out there cannot wait for football to start. Like I said, we're going through it, boys. Going through it, boys and girls. It's the home stretch. It's time to start prepping for fantasy. I'm trying to get my fantasy league together. So if you're out there and you need a fantasy team, like I said, you can join mine if you need to, or if anyone's looking for any ringers to join any leagues, hit me up. I'm always down to play fantasy sports. It's like I said, I'm trying to think what else. Let me go through. What else did I have on the agenda? Oh, forgot about WWE. Well, Extreme Rules was extremely meh. Only one freaking match was Extreme Rules, which is pretty fucking stupid. I don't know. Wrestling too hitting a real snag itself. They've got their they got the Brock Lesnar situation that they don't know what to. It seems like they're trying to. It's almost like they're trying to fool us that they know what they're going to do with Brock Lesnar going forward, but we all know that they don't know what they're going to do because they don't know what Brock's going to do. Well, they know what Brock's going to do, but they really just got their hands tied with this whole situation. It was the big theory from when Brock announced that he was going to challenge Daniel Cormier, or when Daniel Cormier challenged Brock Lesnar, was I thought it was hilarious that they mentioned it, but Brock Lesnar coming to the ring, the UFC octagon, with the WWE Universal Championship belt. And that shit would be hilarious. I think it would be so funny if they did that. I really don't think they would. It's getting to the point where it's really annoying now that Brock isn't on TV. Oh, that the belt isn't on TV. That's mainly it. I could care less if Brock. I mean, as much as I like Brock Lesnar, I could care less if he's on TV or not right now at this point. It's just the belt. We just need that belt on TV. He's holding WWE hostage. He's holding the fans hostage. And they are really doing a bad job at swinging this angle. Like, they really have it tailor-made for them, but they're doing it so poorly by trying to, position Roman Reigns as the next guy, or like, it's so ass backwards with everything that, like I said, it's just so frustrating to talk about. And like I said, we all know about how it is. We all know how it's going right now. The Roman Reigns Bobby Lashley thing, sure, whatever. Again, another Spider-Man meme of superstars. Like we all know that WWE, wants Lashley or Reigns to be the future of the company, particularly Reigns. Despite the fact that nobody wants that, and it's a weird time right now. And eventually, Brock Lesnar is going to give that belt up, and the big question is, who's gonna get it? Who's gonna get it? I personally don't know. I really don't know, because it seems like it's like the people that we want to have the belt. When I say we, as in like the smarky internet wrestling fans, we know who we want. We want a guy like Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, maybe Seth Rollins, now that he doesn't have the Intercontinental Championship. But we want someone like that to have the belt. But obviously those aren't the air quote guys that WWE wants to have the belt. So there's always that conundrum, and this is not anything new. This has been going on for years, but it looks like it's going to be Lashley or Reigns. And when that happens, as you can tell, when that happens, I don't know what's gonna happen, because the fans, the fans are gonna be so it's gonna be so divided, and ultimately WWE doesn't really care at this point anymore. It seems like, just because of the whole Fox money that they're gonna get, maybe the new USA money and stuff like that too, but it's just. I don't know, man. I really don't know what's going to happen. And not that I'm not scared. It's not like that. That's the wrong word to use. But it's just like, yeah, man, when this is all over, what's going to happen? Like, what's the direction they take? And I can't wait for it, because, like I said, I cannot wait for that to happen, because it's like, let's just start doing some new stuff finally. Let's just start progressing some storylines. Maybe they can get Drew McIntyre involved. He would look great holding the belt. Maybe they call somebody up. I don't know. Like I said, that's not up to me to decide. But yeah, like I said, it's a lot of questions right now. So many questions from so many fans about so many things, and not good ones either. Not good questions like, oh man, like if everybody loved Bobby Lashley or if everybody loved Roman Reigns, then it's like, oh, who do we root for here? But it's like, no, nobody likes these guys. No one likes any of them. So yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be interesting, but like I said, we're gonna have to just wait and see. Like I said, I don't think they're doing another pay-per-view until SummerSlam. I could be wrong on that part, but SummerSlam is, I guarantee you though, as much as, I guess the only upside to all this is that people are going to watch SummerSlam. People are going to tune into SummerSlam just to see, is Brock finally going to lose the belt? I think this is the last time. Like, Brock has to lose the belt at SummerSlam. Now, to whom? Maybe Braun Strowman cash in. I don't know. He said he would cash in the next time Brock Lesnar shows up. I know we all know that, but they can't swerve the fans again like they did at WrestleMania. When WrestleMania, Brock was finally supposed to lose the belt. They can't swerve the fans again. And then they can't do it again at the Greatest Royal Rumble, where he was, okay, well, now maybe it's going to happen, so they can do it in a place that's not America or Europe, where people don't, maybe they're more casual fans and don't care, and they would cheer and all that stuff. No, they didn't do that either. So no one really knows, but what we do know is, like I said, they cannot swerve the fans again. And because if they do it again, they will lose the crowd. They will lose fans, because it's like, they just can't put the belt off anymore. The belt is the belt. You know what I mean? Like it's It's supposed to. It's supposed to hold merit. It's supposed to be the brass ring that everyone goes for. And when it's not around, it's like, what are they fighting for? You know what I mean? It's like, how many more chances is Roman Reigns going to get? How many chances will Bobby Lashley get? Because if Roman Reigns, if Brock Lesnar doesn't lose the belt at SummerSlam, you can almost guarantee he's going to hold that belt until WrestleMania. And if that happens, that would be horrible. Like, they will lose fans. Actively lose fans. They already are losing fans at a record rate. If I'm not mistaken, I think like what the Raw like a couple weeks ago was the lowest rated Raw ever. And Raw is supposed to be, the money, that's the big money maker. It's the longest running live television show in history. That's their bread and butter. That's where they're supposed to have their big superstars, and they're supposed to have their big feuds and their big this, their big that, everything. And SmackDown is kicking their ass right now. SmackDown's doing really well. And I know there's a conspiracy theory out there that it's self-sabotage on the part of WWE to make SmackDown look stronger, to increase their chance of getting a bigger deal for SmackDown. Like, well, look, SmackDown's got a lot of merit. Look, the numbers are better for SmackDown than they are for Raw. Like, I get that. I'm sure it's a little bit of both, knowing WWE. But yeah, man, they've got a lot of work to do, man. And like I said, they cannot screw SummerSlam. This SummerSlam is going to be so important for so many reasons. They cannot screw this up. I would have loved to put the belt on Shinsuke Nakamura, but apparently they wanted to keep it on AJ Styles because he's the cover athlete for WWE 2K, which I get. I get it. That's what you want. You got to keep him on. So when he does a press tour, he's got the belt. It looks good. Yada yada. But they made up for that by putting the U.S. title on Shinsuke Nakamura, which is fine, I guess. But hopefully they can rehash the Nakamura Styles feud again and do it better. But yeah, like I said, they got a lot to do. They cannot screw SummerSlam up. They really can't. For a lot of things, they cannot screw this up. But yeah, that's I think my rant about wrestling's over now. Like I said, there's not much to talk about wrestling other than just complaining, which is fine. And it's funny because I had some friends that came over and I was watching wrestling, and then they're like, I was just like complaining the whole time, and then they just said, "Why do you still watch if all you do is complain about this? You just say you hate this guy, you say you hate that guy." And I'm like, you know what? That is the modern wrestling fan personified. That question, that question personifies the modern smarky wrestling fan. Modern smarky WWE fan. That question right there. If you hate them so much, why do you still watch? It's like, and you know what? I don't know. But I still, like I said, that's why I watch more New Japan now, which had some great matches in the G1 Climax, which were, I think I saw Dave Meltzer gave like 4 of them 5 stars, like Jesus Christ. But they did deserve. They were great matches. Kenny Omega, Tetsuya Naito was awesome, and like I said, it's just Kenny Omega, man. That guy is a freaking star. I don't know if he's gonna go to WWE. There's rumors he might go to Impact. That'd be crazy if that happens. I don't know, but like I said, for now, I'm hanging on to hope. Like I said, I'm giving WWE till SummerSlam. And then if they screw that shit up, then they might lose me. And I know that's saying a lot because I am such an important person in the world of wrestling. But if they lose, like I said, they're gonna lose a really important fan if they don't turn this shit around. But like I said, we'll like I said, we'll have to wait and see. Like I always say. I've been saying that on this podcast about wrestling for like 2 years now. We'll have to see. And I'm optimistic going forward, but end up being pessimistic at the result. But whatever. But yeah, I actually recorded a lot longer than I thought I was gonna. I thought it was gonna be a quickie, but hey, that's just the way it goes. But then again, I am sitting in LA traffic, so I got a lot of time to kill. But that's gonna be it for me today. On this, like I said, hopefully you guys bared with me on this car ride episode, a little different. But again, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for however you guys are listening or whatever. Thank you guys, I appreciate it. And like always, if you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe, like, share, comment, all that YouTuber bullshit. Yeah, like I said, just like I said, I can't say thanks enough. Like I said, and so just thanks for the support. Keep supporting. Make sure you also follow along on all the socials: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, Snapchat, all that bullshit. Whatever you find me, Find me Brown Mamba Radio. My personal account, JXCKSXNNN. Follow along there and all that stuff too. I post a lot of stuff there. But yeah, just follow along. I appreciate it. Like, I can't say it enough. Oh, and I also just quickly want to put out not a casting call, but just a little, thing out there for if anyone out there who's listening wants to jump on and, do like an interview type thing, wants to do just sit and talk about anything, got anything you want to talk about, whether it's sports, pop culture, modern breaking news, anything like that. If you want to jump on the pod or anything like that and just talk about anything, shoot the shit, whatever, just let me know. Hit me up. I'm open and willing to talk to anybody. It could be in person, on the phone, or whatever. Or even if you don't, but you maybe know somebody who might be interested in something like this, or you think it'd be an interesting conversation, interesting hang, or anything like that, let them know to let me know. Like I said, I'm always open. I don't know if you can notice, but I think I'm a pretty chill guy. I can talk about stuff like that with anybody. So, like I said, I'm completely open to the option. And doing the episode with my friends last week, just really inspired me again to want to, talk to more people, because, podcasts work best when it's two people, or two or more people, just, talking to each other, and as much as I love doing this as a creative outlet to be able to express my opinions and my feelings and stuff like that on stuff that I love and care about, I really like hearing from other people and hearing opinions, whether they agree with me or not about stuff, and being able to have a conversation about that, because that's how I think, people learn more, people grow more. So I'm really interested in doing this, and like I said, hopefully you are too, or know somebody else, and hit me up if you're interested. So this, like I said, thanks for bearing with me in this episode. Don't know if I'm ever going to do this again. I might, who knows, but, like I said, we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, hopefully you guys all enjoy your weekend. It's Friday finally. New Music Friday. A lot of cool stuff came out today, or this past week. Got some new Chance the Rapper, which is good. Go check that out. New Internet came out, which is good. New Billie Eilish, I forgot you say her name. Where Are the Avocados? New Billie Eilish or whatever. Is out. That's good. Make sure you check all that stuff out. Whatever good new music's out there, make sure you guys check it out. You know what I mean? And just whatever you guys do this week, if you catch a game since baseball's back, if you go to the beach because the weather's beautiful, whatever you do, like I said, just please be safe. Have fun, but be responsible, be safe, and all that stuff. And so now I'm gonna get out of here. And like I always say, don't just have a good weekend, make it a good weekend. Again, be safe and responsible, but please still have fun. Please drink more water. Health is wealth. Please, everybody, please be kind to each other, because it's easy to be nice. And like always, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.